Hello everyone, I am the All-Seeing I'm with a general collective message. Let's see what comes out and where Spirit takes us on this journey. Ooh, a lot of cards. Oh, I thought more than that came out. It felt like it. First two cards out are the Four of Swords and the Ace of Swords. So there may be something that you're meditating about or praying on. You may be praying for some kind of answer, praying for some kind of peace. You may be feeling restless at this time. You're committed to the truth, knowing it, telling it. You are a truth seeker. You believe telling the truth is the honorable thing to do. You're very direct in whatever it is that you have to say. If you think it, you're going to say it. You may not have much of a filter. We have the Nine of Wands coming out with the Eight of Wands. So some of you may be feeling very protective at this time, protective of yourselves, protective of your energy. There's some kind of activity coming though. It could be communication coming in from a certain source. Something, it could be reconciliation where someone returns from your past and the conversation gets good quick or is very rapid speed. There's a lot of contact back and forth and excitement in this communication. Perhaps this disarms you in some way and makes you feel less protective of yourself and your energy, whatever communication this is coming in. Knight of Pentacles is here, so there can be someone that's moving towards you slowly but surely. This may or may not be the energy of the or this may or may not be the person coming in with communication, as this is a slow-moving energy, but it's very steady. This could show up as a person in your life who comes off as very slow to move, slow to act. There's a victory coming though, some kind of triumph that you'll be able to share publicly with others. Some kind of accomplishment of yours that will bring acclaim. A public victory, I feel. And it could be tied to you being very honest. Perhaps if it's a work situation, maybe you're being trusted to take on more responsibility because you've proven yourself to be an honest individual. You've never lied to or stolen from, your workplace. So perhaps it's a victory around your career. We have the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Wands coming out together. So with the Seven of Swords, I feel like there could be an energy around you that's deceptive and that's not being completely honest or forthright when it comes to what they think and feel. They may be seeing how far they can go, how far they can take it with you in terms of like lying or telling half truths or withholding certain information. And this could be why your guard is up and why you're feeling so protective of yourself and your energy, because you feel like in a certain connection or with someone around you, there's an energy of deceit and, like something's not right. You feel it's off. There's a Ten of Wands here. So you're very close to completing a specific goal that you have. You're very close to the finish line. You could be coming up on a deadline with a work project that you're just really working hard toward getting to the end of, so you can finally rest, because I feel like you've, taken on this, taken on a lot of responsibility in your life, and you shoulder a lot of weight. The Knight of Swords is here. So this feels more like the energy of someone that has something to say, that's very eager to speak with you and get a message across. So that could be the person coming in with this communication. And perhaps they, this is somebody you can also talk to and share your struggle with to some extent. You may be carrying this heavy weight right now and have all this responsibility on your shoulder, depending on whatever your role or roles are in life. And, you may not have anyone to, share the weight with. But this person coming in is very eager to say how they feel, what they're thinking. And they're coming in fast. You may get some kind of invitation out, or this triumph and victory you could be celebrating amongst friends. This very public victory of yours, this triumph. You may go grab drinks with friends to, toast to the level up. This could be a promotion at your job. I mean, it could even be you getting into a relationship and that being public. Maybe there is someone in your energy currently. Yeah. So this person that I don't know if it's romantic or not, but this person that's with this deceptive kind of energy around you, maybe they aren't giving enough. Maybe they are trying to see, how much they can get away with in terms of not showing themselves, not showing their true hand. And you feel this and you're walking away with the Eight of Cups. I mean, you're protected for a reason. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you're protected for a reason because you feel something off in a connection, and you're walking away from that to something better. And it's not even about walking into something new or something else or the next best thing. It's just about, knowing that you're having to leave this certain something behind it may have been good at one point, but you know, maybe it's not so good anymore. All that glitters isn't gold. So it may seem, you know, okay on the surface, but deep down it's not. So you're, you know, you're walking away. You have bigger fish to fry. And then you have someone coming in that wants to communicate with you. They want to speak to you. They have a lot to say. And this is someone who you can possibly even share some of your responsibility with. Wow, Two of Cups. Yeah, I mean, we can end the reading here, whatever. Someone's coming in with communication. This is a soulmate kind of connection. The Two of Cups is union on a different level. And I said earlier, you could be celebrating getting into a relationship and doing that publicly, like, you know, a change in your Facebook status. Now you're linked to this other person, or, you know, like you take a picture and post it on social media. You know, it's your new profile picture. It's just the, you know, what it is now. And, you know, there's mutual attraction, mutual love, equality in this connection. You're giving from a full cup. You're offering what's yours. You're being generous with what you have, you know, even if it's just your heart. Not that, and I'm not even saying that lightly, even if it is your heart. No, I'm saying that like that's a big thing. You know, you're not Five of Swords, Three of Swords, you know, you've had your share of heartache and heartbreak and pain. And you're not willing to keep putting yourself through that. So you're walking away, clear as day. You're not going to stick around and stay in situations with people that aren't celebrating you or that aren't, you know, supporting you. And I feel like you're getting clear on exactly who those people are and what relationships are unfulfilling and just imbalanced, you know? You're definitely walking away. You're not gonna fight. If someone's gonna pick a fight, or they're, you know, so fixed on winning that they'll do whatever to be the victor, like that's not you. You're gonna take the high road. And something better's in front of you. It's ahead. Heavy on the air sign. Air energy, because the Knight of Swords came out. Now the King of Swords is coming out. So whoever this is that's coming in, I feel like they're going to be very straightforward, very direct with you. You're not going to have to really ask too many questions or wonder too much. They're just going to be very blunt, no filter sometimes. Could be an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. But they're not going to sugarcoat. They're not going to hold back. They may even say too much sometimes because they, you know, again, they don't seem like they have a filter. They're just very blunt, very honest, very upfront. And they say what they mean and mean what they say. So, you know, you may have been used to, and part of the heartbreak that you've experienced has been from people that haven't been all the way real with you and transparent about what it is they want. Or maybe they said that they wanted a certain thing at the beginning, and then that changed because their actions weren't in alignment with their words. So to you is like, yeah, red flag, this isn't happening. Not how they made it seem or painted a picture out to be. But I feel like whoever this is coming in, like you're not going to have to worry with them in terms of like when it comes to how they, you know, feel. I think that they're going to be, they're just going to say it. Four of Pentacles is here. I feel like in the meantime, your best bet would be to continue on the path you're on and just to be, you know, to kind of save your thoughts, save your feelings for someone who cares. And I don't mean to say it in a rude way, but I feel like you've been fighting against a lot of opposition and people who may have said they cared, but you know, you're finding out that there's not many people in your corner. And that's not to say that you're all alone and by yourself. You know, it just means that there's, you know, you have some people around you that aren't, you know, 1,000% in your corner. So you may have to hold on to what you have, you know, you may have to save. Maybe, you know, you don't have as many lifelines, or, you know, you can't really depend on many, if anyone, for support. So, you know, you got to kind of just do what you can with what you have. The Fool is at the bottom of the deck also. So some of you may be taking some kind of risk, some kind of chance. No risk, no reward. A leap of faith of some sort. Perhaps it's to trust someone new, you know? With the Ace of Swords being one of the first cards out, it's like, yeah, you're I said it in the beginning, like you're a truth teller, a truth seeker, you know? So if the heartache you've experienced has been around people lying and not being completely forthright with what and how they feel or what their intentions are, you know, then yeah, you're gonna be, you know, distrustful. Or at least, you know, protect yourself and do that to the best of your ability when it comes to, you know, sharing what you feel, how you feel, and, you know, who you tell that to. But, you know, some of you may be taking a chance on a person, take a chance on yourself, bet on yourself, you know, you just might win. You will win, you know. You wouldn't take the chance or the risk if you felt like nothing would come from it, you know. Even if it's a lesson, that's still a blessing, even if it's disguised or seems to be disguised, or, you know. I think I'm just going to leave it there. I was thinking about pulling some oracle cards, but I don't really know. You know what? Why not? Let's do a couple romance angel cards. I told you, look, deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship.